Hello guys, welcome back to CareerDeed. I know it's been a long while since I posted a video on this channel. Henceforth, you will be getting regular job updates as well as periodical campus interview preparatory materials at this channel. So stay connected with CareerDeed and you can subscribe our channel if you haven't subscribed. And you can also follow us in our Instagram page where you will be getting daily job updates and that will help you to get your dream job. Now coming to today's topic, which is Hexaware preparatory questions. Now, before entering into today's topic, I would like to tell you for this batch, Science for Campus interview hiring is really good. A lot of service companies like Hexaware, Accenture, Cognizant and LTM Entry. So we have a couple of other companies. They have planned to hire students in huge numbers, both in on-campus as well as off-campus. Now, the thing is, your opportunity may hit you at any time. So you have to be ready to grab your opportunity. So we will be posting consistent campus interview preparatory materials in our channel. So watch it, prepare well, and get your job soon. Now coming to Hexaware questions. Now what you can expect in Hexaware and what are all the topics you have to prepare. Now when it comes to Hexaware, you have to focus on cognitive ability. So cognitive ability is something quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, as well as verbal ability. We have been discussing this topic for a long time. Now, when it comes to cognitive ability, you have to focus a lot on quantitative aptitude because logical reasoning questions are basic fundamentals. So you'll be getting some questions from visual reasoning, coding, decoding, blood relations, and seating arrangement. So which is of linear type. And grammar, so that is again basic. So you'll be getting questions from parts of speech. So in reading comprehension, you will be getting some 10 to 15 lines of question. So most of the questions are direct and you'll be getting some error spotting and jumbling the sentences question. And when it comes to quantitative aptitude, so you can expect arithmetic kind of questions. So this is all about cognitive ability and you will be getting some computer fundamental questions in Hexaware. Now, what is computer fundamentals? See, for computer science, information technology, information system people, these kind of topics are really simple. Computer fundamentals. So you will be getting some Microsoft application questions and you'll be getting database management systems, so operating systems and data structure questions. So these kind of questions are from multiple choice. So you can expect questions from this topic. And you will be getting computer programming questions. So computer programming questions, so you'll be getting some snippets. So where you are expected to predict output, right? So which is not coding. So you'll be getting MCQ questions and you'll be getting some pseudocode question. So this is all about pattern of Hexaware. And so you actually have two packages in Hexaware. So one is 4.5 package and another one is 6 package. So if you want to hit that 6 package, you must be really strong in coding. So if you are not so great in coding, so you can sit for this 4.5 package by clearing the basic cognitive ability as well as computer fundamentals and computer programming questions. So this is all about Hexaware and clearing the Hexaware interview is really simple if you know the proper strategy. And here I'm with some questions that will help you to clear your Hexaware and which will help you to gain your confidence for clearing Hexaware. Now coming to first question, entering into the first question of today's session. So here you have the first question. In a test, Alex could answer 70% of C++ questions, 40% of C questions, and 60% of Java questions correctly. The test had a total of 75 questions, 10 from C++, 30 from C, and 35 from Java. A minimum of 60% in aggregate was required to be considered for interview. The Alex could not clear the test and was not shortlisted for interview. Find by how much marks did the Alex miss the interview call. Given that each question was of 1 mark and there was no negative marking for incorrect answers. Now, if you want to practice this problem, you can pause this video for a minute. Try to solve it by your own. Then you can play it to check the shortcut I'm going to provide. Right? Now, if you want to practice, so pause this video. So try it by your own. So if you don't know how to proceed with the solution, I will show you how to solve it. Now we have a person Alex and he want to solve 3 sections C++, C and Java. C++, C and Java. And he have to totally take 75 questions. Now, Alex could answer 70% in C++ and 40% in C questions and 60% in Java questions. Now the test had a total of 75 questions, 10 from C++ and 30 from C, 35 from Java. A minimum of 60% in aggregate was required to be considered for the interview. Now he want to totally secure 60% marks, which means out of 75, he want to get 60%. Now what is 60% of 75? So 75 into 3 out of 5. You know 60% is 3 by 5, right? So if you cut it, you get how much? So it is 1 times 5, carry over to 5 times. So 15 into 3, he want to get 45 marks out of 75. Now, Alex got how many percentage mark in C++? 70%. So what is 70% of 10? 7 marks. And 40% of 30, 12 marks. And 60% of 35. So again, 60% of 35. So 35 into 3 by 5. So that is 60%. So 7 into 3, 21 marks. Now he got how many marks? So 7 plus 12 plus 21. So it is 19 plus 21. He got only 40 marks. So if he got another 5 marks extra, he will clear the interview and he will go for the further proceedings, further round. So he failed the interview by how many marks? 5 marks. So answer for this question is 5. So it is very simple, right? So basic arithmetic question. You can expect this kind of questions in Hexaware. It is so simple. Now question number 2. 3 persons walking around a circular track complete their respective single revolutions in 15 1 by 6 seconds, 16 1 by 4 seconds, and 18 2 by 3 seconds respectively. They will be again together at the common starting point after 1 hour and dash seconds. So this is our question. If you want to practice problem, pause it and try to work it down. And if you get the answer, don't forget to include your answer in comment below. Okay. Now we have 3 persons and they are walking around a circular track. And they are starting at the common point. So the first person is making the revolution in 15 1 by 6 seconds. And the second person is making the revolution in 16 1 by 4 seconds. And the third person in 18 2 by 3 seconds. And you want to find at what time they will meet each other at the common starting point, which means you have to take LCM, right? So what is LCM of 15 1 by 6, 16 1 by 4, 18 2 by 3? Now 15 into 6, right? So it is 90, 90 plus 1, 91 by 6. So 16 into 4, 64 plus 1, 65 by 4. And 18 into 3, you get 54, 54 plus 2, 56. So it is 56 by 3. Now we want to find LCM of this fraction. So what is LCM of fraction? So you have to take LCM of numerator by HCF of denominator. So this is how you can find LCM for fractions. So what is LCM of numerator? 91, 65, 56. So you can take LCM, right? So it will go in what? 7th table. So 7th table, it is 2 times. I'm sorry, it is 1 times, 3 times. And 65. So 7 into 8, 56. And again, it will go in 13th table, 1 times, 5 times, 8 times. Now 7 into 13 into 5 into 8. So what is the LCM? So it is 91 into 40. So 91 into 40, we get 3640, which means these people will again meet at 3640th second. So what is 3640th second? So 3640 second carries how many hours? So in 1 hour, you have 3600 seconds. So in 3640 seconds, you have 1 hour and 40 seconds extra, right? So what is your answer? They will be again meet together at the common starting point after 1 hour and 40 seconds. So this becomes your answer. Right? So again, I'm repeating, if you want to find LCM of the fraction, you have to take LCM of the numerator divided by HCF of the denominator. So you don't have anything common in this denominator, 6, 4, and 3. You don't have anything common in this denominator. So HCF of 6, 4, and 3 is 1. So you don't want to bother about it. I believe you are clear with this stuff. Now moving to question number 3. In article was, if an article was sold at a profit of 12%, if cost price would be 10% less and selling price would be 5.75% more, there would be a profit of 30%. Then at what price it should be sold to make a profit of 20%? So for most of the people, when you look at the question for first time, you will never understand it. But the question belongs to profit and loss, which is the basic part of your arithmetic questions. Now, if you know the basic association between cost price and selling price, you can easily deal with this kind of questions. If an article was sold at a profit of 12%, okay, now we are selling the article at a profit of 12%. We know cost price of the product is always 100%. And you are selling the article at the profit of 12%, which means you sold the article for 112%. If the cost price would be 10% less, okay. If the cost price is 10% less, it is only 90% of actual cost price, right? Because you are selling it for 10, okay, you purchased it for 10% lesser than the previous cost price. If the previous cost price is 100%, now you are purchasing it only for 90%. Am I right? Now, if the cost price would be 10% less and the selling price would be 5.75 more, there would be a profit of 30%. Now, Instead of selling for this price, if you attach in 5.75 rupees extra, you will get a 30% profit. Now, 30% profit means it is not 130%. Now, cost price is 90% and you want to find a 30% extra for this 90. Now, what is 30% of 90? So 30% of 90, we know it is 27, right? So, okay, 30% of 90, we get 9 into 3, 27. So 90% plus a 27% addition, which means you are selling for 117%. Is that right? So in first case, you are selling for 112%. In second case, you are selling for 117%. And this difference happened because of 5.75 rupees. Now, how many percentage extra you are getting? 5% extra. And that is because of 5.75 rupees. Now, you want to find at what price it should be sold to make a 20% profit. Now, if you want to get a 20% profit, so instead of getting a 12% profit or 17% profit, if you want to get a 20% profit, you have to sell the product for 120%, right? So what is that 120% X? Now you want to cross multiply, you get the answer. So if you cross multiply, so it is 1.1 times, and again it is to 1.15 into 120. So it is 11.5 into 12. So if you do it, you will be getting 138 rupees, right? So I already calculated the answer, so I know it. So it is 138. Now what price it should be sold to make a profit of 20%? For 138 rupees, you have to sell. In case if they ask what is the original cost price, you have to find 100%, right? So the process is very simple. So you have to understand the basic relationship between cost price and selling price. I believe you understood the concept. Now moving to the next question. In how many ways is it possible to make a selection by taking any number of 15 fruits, namely 3 oranges, 5 apples, and 7 mangoes? In how many ways you can make a selection? Now you have 3 oranges and 5 apples and 7 mangoes. You can select any number of fruits from any category. So in how many ways it is possible? Now see, if you have the fruit orange, you have 3 oranges. You can select 3 oranges or 2 oranges or 1 orange, or you don't want to select any oranges. So in how many ways it is possible? In 4 ways it is possible, right? 3 or 2 or 1 or nothing. So you can make a selection from these 3 oranges in 4 ways. And from 5 apples, you can make a selection in how many ways? Obviously, it is 6 ways. You can select 5 apples, or you can select 4 apples only, or you can do 3, or you can take 2, or you can take 1, or you can take 0. So in 6 ways. So you can take fruits from 7 mangoes in how many ways? It is in 8 ways. Now 4 ways, 6 ways, and 8 ways. So totally, you can make how many selections? So 4 into 6, 24, 24 into 8. Okay, or 6 into 8, 48, 48 into 4. So it is 96, 96 into 2, 192. So it is 192 ways. Now, definitely you will have option 192 ways in your option, but you are not supposed to choose that 192 ways, because in this 192 ways, you have one option where you don't want to select any fruit, because in 3 oranges, there is a possibility you won't select any oranges. And from 5 apples, there is a chance that you won't select any apples. In 7 mangoes, there is a chance you won't select any mangoes. So 0 from orange, 0 from apple, 0 from mango, which means I'm not selecting anything. But you want to make a selection. So you want to skip this possibility. You want to skip this option. So it will happen in only one way. So if at all I don't want to select any fruit, that is going to happen in only one way, right? So I want to eliminate it. So it is 192 minus 1. I get 191 ways. So this is my answer. The concept is very simple and it belongs to permutation. Now moving to next question. Find the least number which when divided by 5, 6, 7 and 7, 8 and 9 leaves remainder 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 respectively. Now you are dividing the least number. Maybe you can take the number as x. If you divide x by 5, you get a remainder 3. And if you divide x by 6, you get the remainder 4. And if you divide the same number x by 7, you get the remainder 5. If you divide x by 8, you get the remainder what? 6. If you divide x by 9, you get the remainder 7. Now see, for this kind of question, you have a shortcut, right? So if you look at the divisor as well as the remainder, so what is the difference 2? So here also 6 and 4, the difference is 2. Here also 7 and 5, the difference is 2. And 8 and 6, the difference is 2. 9 and 7, the difference is 2. So when you have this kind of common differences, and if you are supposed to find the least number or the highest number, you have to take the LCM, right? So you want to find which least number is perfectly divisible by 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you want to take the LCM of 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? Now, what is LCM of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Right? So you can take LCM. So 5, it is 1 into 5. So 6, it is 2 into 3. 7, it is 7 into 1. 8 is 2 cube. And 9 is 3 square. Now, what is the highest power of 2? It is 2 cube. And what is the highest power of 3? It is 3 square. And what is the highest power of 5? It is 5. And what is the highest power of 7? 7. See, you can also do L division, right? So if you don't know how to make prime factoring, you can take L division. So 2 cube, you get 8, and 3 square, you get 9, and 5 into 7, you get 35. So it is 8 into 9, 72 into 35. So what is 72 times 35? So 2 5s are 10, carry over 1, 7 5s are 35, plus 6, 41, 42, carry over 4, 7 3s are 21, plus 4, you get 2520. Now, 2520 is the least number which is perfectly divisible by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it have to give the difference 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And difference between the number you are dividing as well as the remainder is 2 for all the cases. Now, simply you want to subtract 2 from this least common multiple. You get 2518 and this becomes your answer. I believe you are clear with the problem, right? So it is a shortcut. So please keep it in your mind. So whenever you see this kind of question, you can naturally solve it. Now moving to next question. If two dice are thrown simultaneously, what is the probability of getting a sum less than 10? Now you throw two dice. When you throw two dice, how to find a sum? See, already I taught you a pyramid, right? So whenever you throw two dice, the minimum sum you will get is 2. 1, comma 1, 2. And the maximum sum you will get is 12. 6, comma 6, you get 12. And you get some 3, you get some 4, you get some 5, you get some 6, you get some 7, you get some 8, you get some 9, you get some 10, and you get some 11. And you get some 2 for only one time, because when you add 1, comma 1, you get 2. And you get some 3 for 2 times, and some 4 for 3 times, some 5 for 4 times, some 6 for 5 times, and some 7 for 6 times, some 8 for 5 times, some 9 for how many times? 4 times, some 10 for 3 times, some 11 for 2 times, and some 12 for 1 times. Now, you want to find the probability of getting a sum less than 10, which means till 9 you have to find it. So some 2 for 1 time, some 3 for 2 times, some 4 for 3 times. So if you add all this number of times of getting a sum less than 10, so what is the total sample space first of all? So when you roll two dice, the maximum sample space you will get is 36, right? So 1, comma 1, 1, comma 2, 1, comma 3 till 6, comma 6, you totally have 36 sample space. Out of 36, you want how much? So till 9, you have to calculate. So it is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. So if you add it, you get how much? 21. And 21 plus 5 plus 4, you get how much? 30, right? So if you add everything, you get how much? 30. So 30 out of 36. So what is 30 out of 36? So 10 by 12. So what is 10 by 12? You get 5 by 6. So 5 by 6 is probability of getting a sum less than 10. I believe you know the concept of probability. So that's the reason I took it just like that. So if you don't know the concept, so I have included the probability playlist in our description. So watch the videos that will help you definitely. Now moving to next question. Okay, so that's it for the day. Now we have included some more, grammar as well as computer fundamentals and computer programming questions. So keep watching, and if you feel this video is helpful, give a heart, give a like, and share it with your friends preparing for campus interviews. Thank you. Stay connected.
Today, let's see some questions asked in the Hexaware interview. Let's get started. This is the first question. The binary representation of hexadecimal C3 is. And these are the options. Take 5 to 10 seconds to solve it. Hope you found the answer. It's option C. If not, let me explain. This is the table representing the corresponding hexadecimal and binary values. In this question, we have given C3. So, the corresponding value of hexadecimal C is given as 1100, and the corresponding value for 3 is given as 0011. So if you combine this, you're going to get 11000011. And so our option is C. Hope you understood this question. Let's go to the next question. This is the second question. What will be the output of the following pseudocode? And the options are 19, 24, 15, 20. Take 10 to 15 seconds to solve this pseudocode. Hope you got the answer. It's option A, 19. If you didn't get, don't worry, let me explain. Here we are given three integers a, b, c, and a's value is set as 5, b's value is set as 11, and c's value is set as 7. And we have given a for loop where this for loop runs for c's value 2 to 3. In the first iteration, when c's value is 2, b's value is getting updated as 9 plus a, which is the value of a is 5. So b's value will be updated as 9 plus 5, which is 14. Even in the next iteration, when c's value will be incremented to 3, again we are going to update the value of b, which is equal to 9 plus 5. Again the value of b will be 14. So how many times ever if you run this loop, you're going to just update the value of b with 9 plus 5, which is 14. Now if the for loop is ended, we are going to print the value of a plus b. And the value of a is unupdated, which is 5. And the value of b is updated, which is 14. So 5 plus 14 will be 19. Hope you understood this question. Let's go to the next question. This is the next question. What will be the output of the following pseudocode? This is the pseudocode. And the options are 3, 6, 17, 10. Take 10 to 15 seconds to solve the pseudocode. Hope you got the answer. It's option B, 6. If you didn't get, don't worry, let me explain. Here we have given three integers p, q, r, and the initial value of p is 1, q is also 1, and r's value is 2. In this line, q's value is getting updated as p minus 1, which will be 1 minus 1, 0. And again in this line, q's value is getting updated again with r minus 1, which is 2 minus 1, 1. Now we have to check if this if condition will be satisfied or not. If p plus q should be greater than q minus 6. P's value is 1 and 1 plus 2 is 3 should be greater than q's value is 1, 1 minus 6 is minus 5. So 3 should be greater than minus 5. Yes, it is true, and this if condition is satisfied. Let's see if this if condition will get satisfied or not. Q's value is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, which should be greater than p minus 6. P's value is 1, 1 minus 6 is minus 5. Again, 3 is greater than minus 5. Yes, this condition is true. And so we will go inside this and execute this statement. And we'll update the value of p with 2. And after the if condition, we have a statement here where the q's value is getting updated as 2 again. Next, we have an if condition where we have to check this r value should be greater than 5 and the r value is 2, which is not actually greater than 5 because 2 is less than 5. So this if condition is not satisfied and we'll get out of this if loop. And the main if condition is also concluded here. And so we have to print the value of p plus q plus r. P's present value is 2 and Q's present value is also 2. R's value, which is being not updated here, is also 2. So if you add all three, you're going to get 6 as your answer. Hope you understood this question. Let's go to the next question. This is the next question. What will be the output of the following pseudocode? This is the pseudocode, and the options are 3, 6, 4, and 5. Take 10 to 15 seconds to solve this question. Hope you got the answer. And the answer is first option 3. If you didn't get, don't worry, I'll explain it. First, we have given the input parameter as a is equal to 2, and we have a function where it takes one parameter, and the initial parameter which is given in the question is function of 2. First, let's execute it. Let's check if this if condition is satisfied or not. The value of a is 2 here. So if 2 should be greater than 0, yes, this if condition is satisfied. So we should return a plus function of a minus 1. A value is 2 and function of a minus 1 is, we have to execute the function 2 minus 1, 1 now. So we have to return the function of 1 now. So now let's execute function of 1. Again, we have to check this if condition. If 1 is greater than 0, yes, 1 is greater than 0. Again, we have to return this, which is 1 plus function of 1 minus 1, which will be 1 plus function of 0. Now we have to execute the function of 0 here. And now if you execute function of 0, we have to check this if condition first. 0 is greater than 0. It is not true because 0 is equal to 0. So it goes to the else loop and returns as 0. So for this function of 0, you're going to return as 0. And for this function of 1, you're going to return 1 plus 0, which will be 1 plus 0, which is 1. So this function of 1 will be written as 1. Now for this function of 2, you're going to return 2 plus function of 1, which is 2 plus 1, which will be 3. So the final answer for this question is 3. Hope you understood this question. Let's go to the next question. This is the next question. This is the type of question asked in the coding round. Let's analyze it. Lena, a financial analyst, needs to sort daily profit and loss values for a stock portfolio, which can be either positive or negative. Using a bubble sorting technique, she must arrange these values in ascending order. Help Lena ensure the profit and loss values are sorted accurately. And the input format is, the first line of input consists of an integer n representing the number of daily values. The second line consists of n space separated integers representing the profit which is positive and loss which is negative values. And the output format is, the output prints the sorted profit and loss values in ascending order. And the given code constraints are, the n value will be in between 1 to 10 and the profit or the loss values will be in between minus 100 to 100. In this question, they have asked us to sort the values in ascending order using bubble sort. So let's see a video explanation of how bubble sort is done. you understood the video explanation. This is the sample code of how bubble sort is done. And here the sorting is done in ascending order. Here in the first for loop, i's value is gone from I is equal to 0 till n minus 1. And in the second for loop, j's value will be from 0 to n minus I minus 1. And this n minus I minus 1's value will be like the walls that you have seen in the video explanation. Here, in the every iteration, if array of j's value is greater than array of j plus 1's value, the swapping will be happened, and the whole array will be sorted. And after sorting the values, we have to print the value, and this is the for loop that is used for printing the value. So the for loop runs from I is equal to 0 till n. N here is the length of the array, and you're going to print the value of the arrays. I hope you understood this question. Hope you find this helpful for your learning. Stay connected with us, keep learning, and keep practicing. Thank you.
This is Janani, and we are in the verbal part of the preparation for your placements. So here I have taken questions from few of the mock papers that will be very common, and common type of questions is what I have taken. See, generally, as I always say, that in verbal there are three sections. One is grammar, then you have vocabulary, and then you have comprehension. Comprehension is not just reading comprehension. It will also include your parajumble based questions. Grammar, you need not be very, you don't have to think much about it, because only the basics like prepositions, tenses, articles, a very important one, articles, and a few core grammar like subject verb agreement. Okay, so these are all the topics that you will have to know uh, when it comes to grammar. Vocabulary, yes, we need to know a little about root words, and also, of course, luck plays a good role here. And comprehension, you need patience and a little bit of keen observation when you read, and understanding of what is given. These things can help you answer the questions that are asked. But here, it is not going to be reading comprehension for the placement that you're going to write. It's only parajumbles. Okay, so parajumbles are a pretty easy one to handle when you compare with reading comprehension, or even close test when you take in the entire comprehension category. One of the easiest things that you can handle is going to be only parajumbles. Okay, so here we go, and we here are sort of few questions that you can actually deal, and let's start with them one by one. So here's the first question. Fill up the blank with suitable prepositions from the alternatives given under each sentence. Kanishka was initiated blank Buddhism by Buddhist monks. Okay, see, as you can see, it is again a preposition based question. Again, it's basic. Hexaware usually don't deal with very complex grammar questions like sentence correction in a very difficult format. See, when you say core grammar, no, what all it covers is this thing called subject verb agreement. You have faulty comparison, you have modifiers. So these are all the topics you will have to think about when you actually handle a hard verbal paper. But this is very easy, because all the topics that we will be covering is only from the basic of grammar. Basic of grammar is something which we have been learning since our 5th or 6th grade. No, so it's going to be very easy only. So we'll start with this. Kanishka was initiated a blank Buddhism by Buddhist monks. Say initiated means the other word you can think of is introduced. Okay, introduced. When you think of introduced or even initiated, okay, the first preposition that will come to your mind is to. Okay, but when you're getting into something, here the meaning is she is getting into Buddhism, right? So when you are getting into something, as I say, the word, the preposition that you're going to use is option number B, into only and not to. Okay, so these are all the facts where you will have the 101 golden rules of English grammar, 101 rules that you have to remember to solve your fill in the blank or sentence correction questions. Okay, of in among these 101 or 51, whichever you say, Okay, there will be one rule which says if you have the word initiated or introduced or dedicated, then you have to use the word into. Okay, so these are all the kind of rules they make with the grammar. But generally, this is a base when you can frame a sentence, any other sentence using the word initiated, you will only be using the word into after it. Okay, so do not fall for the trap of so-called 101 rules, 51 rules, or whatever it is. Okay, it is actually a trap in my opinion, because if you know the concepts of it, then easily you can frame it. You need not memorize so many rules, 51. Of course, there are few rules which you have to know, which you must remember. But it is not that only restricted number of rules are there. Only this thing will be there. There is nothing very specific. One common rule in English grammar is every rule you learn will have exceptions. Okay, that is one common rule. So you can't believe everything. Right. So yeah. So the answer for this is Kanishka was introduced or initiated into Buddhism by Buddhist monks. So the answer is option number B, into. So the second question is, again, you have to fill in the blank with a suitable option. And if you can look at the option even before reading the questions, it is again prepositions and conjunctions. Okay. So if you do not comply, comply means obey. Okay. Traffic regulations, you will get, this is another easy way of finding your answer. Get trouble. So if you are getting into trouble, right, you will get into trouble. Okay, so the only option that has into is option A and B. So option C, D cannot be your answer. Into trouble with the police, right? If you do not obey the traffic regulations, you will get into trouble with the police. So obviously the correct answer is option number B. So comply is, it is more like adjusting with or accepting with or being in accordance with. So this is another word, being in accordance. All these, it will have the word, sorry. After all these, the preposition that follows them is with. So if you do, even for comply, the next preposition that should follow it will be with. So comply with, be in accordance with, and it goes. Okay. So the answer is going to be option B, with, into, with. Comply with traffic regulations, you will get into trouble with the police. The next one is, you have to fill in the blank with a suitable article. So article, as you all know, there are three articles, a and the. Okay, I have been telling this in all the videos that I have posted, that whenever the concept article comes, the difference between a and an. I still come across students who say an is used before vowel and a is used before a consonant or a non-vowel. But this is a wrong understanding, because the articles a and an is determined by the sound and not by the letter. Okay, you have to understand the sound. So an comes before a vowel sound, while a comes before a consonant sound. Okay, now what is a vowel sound? A vowel sound is all the sound that comes in the uirelthu of your Tamil. Okay, from a to au, whatever sound comes, no, all these are what you call as vowel sounds. Okay, for example, owl. The first letter is going to be ow, which is a vowel sound. Apple, a. Okay. So that is why you use a. That is why we say a, e, I, o, u are vowel sounds, because only these letters can give vowel sounds. Okay. When you say aeroplane, the pronunciation of a in aeroplane is different from that of apple. Right. So it is not before the vowel that you will use the article an, but it is the sound they give you. Okay. So that is how you do it. Okay. So remember, it is always before the vowel sound you use the article an. Okay. And here he has been appointed as dash Minister for Industry. So whenever a word is capitalized, okay, the article before that is always the. because it is a respectable position. Let's say the prime minister of the country, the president of the country, the principal, the governor, right? So whenever you mention a position held by someone, you will usually capitalize the first letter of the word. So wherever there is a capital letter of the first word, and if you're using an article before it, the only article you're going to use is the. So the correct answer is option number C. Okay. And the next, select the most suitable synonym for the word gratify. Gratify is usually associated with grateful, because when you think of words that are very closely sounding like gratify, you will be reminded of grateful. Grateful means thank giving, right? Sometimes instead of saying thank you, they say I appreciate. Okay. So another way of saying thank you is I appreciate, which means you are in a what do you say? The other person who has helped you is is someone who is not on a higher level than you are. Okay, so that is when you can use the word I appreciate. Okay, so generally when you see the word gratify, most probably you will get into the word appreciate only. Okay, but appreciate is not the actual meaning here. There is a difference between appease, appreciate, indulge, and acknowledge. All these words. Okay, so acknowledge is knowing something, indulge is diving into it, like you get into that. That is the meaning of it. But gratify is to what do you say? You please someone. Okay, so the other word that means very close to gratify is appease. Okay, because the other three words cannot be very close to the word gratify, the correct answer is going to be appease. Okay, so in order to please someone, you give some appreciations. Yes, if this understanding is what you have, then I'll tell you the difference between appreciate and gratify. Okay, see, you do something. Okay. And you did a good job, a great job, which nobody else did. Then what you deserve is appreciation. In order to make you proud, in order to recognize the work that you did, they appreciate you, they motivate you, right? So that is appreciation. But gratify is used just to satisfy you. You don't deserve an appreciation, but yet people say that it's good thing, you've done something good, you have done something great, but you know that it is not something that you deserve, right? You did only a little thing, so they tell it only to satisfy you. That is gratifying. Okay, there is a big difference between gratifying and appreciation. So the meaning of gratify can never be equated to appreciate. Okay, so this is one common mistake that you might make when such questions come. The answer is appease for this, not appreciate. Hope you understood. The next word is select the option that is most nearly the opposite in meaning to the word, which is far-fetched. Okay, now far-fetched, when you look at the word far, you will be very easily thinking about the distance. Yes, it is a little correct only. But here what is asked is opposite. So opposite means antonyms. So far-fetched is something that is nowhere close to the truth or the honest things. Okay, something that is nowhere close to the truth. Okay, this is the meaning of far-fetched. Okay, something which I can't even imagine. That is how it is. What you say is something I cannot even imagine, cannot even think, I cannot even digest what you say. Okay, so that kind of meaning is what far-fetched is all about. And ingenious is something very original. The native is the meaning of it. And facile, it should be very easy thing. A piece of cake, you can say. Facile things are very easy to do, very simple to achieve, not very great about it, right? Let's say, I don't know if I can say this. You cleared all your papers without any backlogs, then it's not a facile thing, but I'm just saying it for the way to understand what facile is, right? Something that is very normal to do is facile. Myopic, see, there are two meanings of myopic. One is a scientific word which you use for your sightedness, right? When you cannot see what is at a long distance, we say, and we wear specs for that, right? Short sightedness. When you cannot see what is at a far distance, that is called as myopic. But the fancy meaning of myopic is that we don't have any intellectual idea. Okay, we lack uh, the sharpness, we lack the common sense. Okay, so that is when you use the word myopic. The fancy meaning of myopic is that. So credible is something, when you say incredible, that means you can't believe it, you're surprised. Okay, so that is when you use the word incredible. So credible is opposite of it, which is something believable. Now understand, compare all the meanings I gave you. Far-fetched is nowhere close to the truth, but credible is something that is very believable. So obviously this is the antonym, the opposite of it. Okay, so the answer is option D, credible. So the next question is another fill in the blank. Yeah, here is where we will be in need of the vocabulary aspect. So Rajendra's royal dash was proficient in creating icons of dash, working the hard granite to yield the vision of difficult themes. Okay. See, you use an adjective. Royal is an adjective. Guys, this is why I say basic is important. Okay. In a sentence, adjectives, 99% an adjective comes only before a noun. Okay, 99% it comes only before a noun. Okay, so a noun, as we all play the game name, place, animal, thing, a noun is a name or a place or an animal or a thing, or it can be an emotion also, like love or gratitude, honesty, whatever can come in the first word of the sentence, you can call it as a noun. Okay, that's a very simple understanding. Whichever word you can put it as the starting word of your sentence, you can assume it to be a noun. 90% that works. Okay. Now, another example also, another hint also I tell you, nouns usually end in ION. Okay. Or you can say NESS, TION, right? So these are all cleanliness, dedication, all these you can assume. Definitely the words ending in TION, NESS are nouns only. Okay. So here fabricate is a verb. So this cannot come. Eliminate this option. Okay. So now gallery, you all know. It's not the gallery. Gallery is something that has a collection of photos or some things. But here, if it is royal, then you will not say the word gallery. It's a very simple term. Gallery is just a collection. It is not a studio kind of thing. You need a studio here. Okay. So the meaning of studio can either be avocation or atelier. Let me tell you, avocation is something, a hobby. Photography is an avocation. Gardening is an avocation. It is a hobby that you do as your pastime, that you do. Writing is an avocation. Something that is not the primary source of income, but you do it just because you like to do it. Traveling can be an avocation, right? So all these, avocation is just like a hobby. So obviously the answer you're going to choose is option B. Atelier was proficient in creating icons of exquisite. Exquisite is something that is elegantly beautiful, elegant, beautiful, all the words that you use to praise or admire something, you can use the word exquisite. Okay, so you will know certain words. Yes, so please note down the meaning of the words if you're knowing it for the first time. Okay, so the answer for this is option B, atelier. So Rajendra's royal atelier was proficient in creating icons of exquisite style. So the next question, fill in the appropriate adverb in the blank. As you can see, adverb, not every time it will end in ly, just like how you learned in your school. 60% of the adverbs only end in ly. There are adverbs like almost, never, right? So all these words, up, okay, out, all these words are also adverbs. Okay, they don't end in ly. Okay, so gypsies do not live dash at a particular, yeah, permanently at a particular place. So willingly is, gypsies means they keep roaming from one place to another. They're like nomads, right? So they keep roaming. So they don't live particularly or permanently in a place. The correct answer is option B, permanently. So the next question, a number of sentences. Here is a parajumble based question. See, parajumbles are of two types. One, all the five sentences will be misarranged and you have to arrange them. Or the other one is the first and the last sentences would be given to you. The middle sentences is what you need to arrange. Okay, but here all the A to E sentences are misarranged and we got to arrange them in a logical order. We'll find it out. Rather, as many view it, it would be inescapable. It cannot start with it. If it starts with it, you do not know what is it. So option, it cannot start with the statement A. Generally, the first sentence should always be an explanation or an introductory statement. Okay, now find out which of these is an introductory statement. With the number of flyers growing 6% annually and 3 billion cell phone devices in operation, foreign airlines are racing to offer passengers the ability to call, text, and email with their mobiles. Okay, it's about the connectivity when you are on airplanes. Okay, you will not be able to get the network there now. So it is about that. The, what do you say, the um, facilities that you get in terms of Wi-Fi connection or connecting people who are down on the ground, right? So it is about that. Technologies on that. So connectivity has yet again despoiled one's sacred ground, though this time it is in the air. Yet again despoiled. Okay. This is also starting off with a noun. This also is more, B and C can be the starting sentences, but not A. So next, in the US, voice won't be available anytime soon, but Wi-Fi will make it. Okay. It is talking about an introduced topic. What is the thing is missing? It cannot be a starting statement of a passage. Whether you are en route to London, Paris, or Dublin, a fellow traveler's gritty life details will soon be audible. Okay. See, voice won't be available anytime soon. And this is also audible. So I can understand that D and E are closely related, which means I can make a pair between D and E. Right? I can definitely make a pair between D and E. Okay, so which options has D together? I have D here. Yeah, only option B. And the starting of that is statement B, which is this with the number of flying. Yeah, I told you this also this also is more like introducing a passage, right? Not every time while dealing a parajumble, not every time you will have to understand all the sentences and then connect them logically. No, it is not possible. I give in the description box the link of how to deal with parajumble video that I have made earlier, where I have given a lot of tricks and the shortcuts which you can use to connect the sentences. Okay, connection between the sentences is what very important to be made while dealing with parajumbles. So just because we were able to make D and E here, and luckily there is only one option which has D and E here, I can very easily assume the answer to be option, I mean fix the answer to be option B, B, A, C, D, E. You don't even have to connect them all, uh, break your head while doing it. Just a small relation between sentences can help you out to deal with the answers. Okay, so the answer is option B, and the sequence is B, A, C, D, E. Another one where here's S1 and S6. There are 5 sentences, I mean 6 sentences. The middle 4 is what you will be doing, and the remaining are fixed. Okay, so For some time in his youth, Abraham Lincoln was manager for a shop. Okay, it's about Abraham Lincoln, which means the noun is introduced. So after that, either his second name will be used or the pronoun he will be used. Okay, not every time they will say Abraham Lincoln. Now the second name or the pronoun for Abraham Lincoln, which is he or him, will be used. Okay, then a chance. It cannot start with P. Then it is totally not relatable. Now read the sentence. Young Lincoln's way of keeping shop was entirely unlike anyone else's. Okay. Yeah. It's about the shop here, and again, it's about the shop here. So this may be related to each other. So let's wait. Lincoln would jump up and attend to his needs. His needs. Whose needs? It is not known. Right? The pronouns are the trump cards, real helpers when you do your parajumbles. Okay. Whose needs? It is not mentioned. He used to lie full length on the counter of the shop, eagerly reading a book. So he reads a book, okay, and then revert to his reading. So the concept is very simple. His way of running the shop was totally different. He was more indulged in reading. Okay, so never before had Lincoln had so much of time for reading. So again, it is talking about reading, right? Okay, so now then a chance customer would come. Okay, now where can the word then after something? So generally he used to lie on the counter of the shop eagerly reading a book, then a customer. So this customer is what the pronoun his is referring to his needs and then revert. So after R, I should get P. Okay, after R, I should get P and so we have 1 minute. Yeah, the only option that has like that is RP. So SQRP is the answer. Oh, sorry. Wait. 1 minute. Okay. So Lincoln would jump up and attend. Okay. So you need P, then it should be R. Okay. Okay. It should be PR. The only option where PR is there is option B. Sorry, PR, not RP, PR. When a customer comes, he will go and attend his needs, right? So it should be P and R, which is going to be the only option that has P and R is option B. So the right answer is option number B. Hope you're clear with this. This is little, when you have the first and the last sentences fixed, then it is quite easy to handle. So we'll move for the next question. And the last question, read the sentences to find out whether there is any grammatical error in it. Okay, here it is shown to you with the red line. Okay, brethren is the pastors of the Christian community. Okay, so the brethren of the locality are always daggers down without any apparent reason. Okay, generally the word brethren, just like the word sheep, fish, furniture, okay, it does not have a plural. The word, even in its plural form, will only be brethren. Okay, this is something which you should know. It collectively refers to the pastors of the Christian community. Okay, so the brethren of this locality. So yes should be removed and the brethren should be replaced with brethren. So the error is in the A part. Okay. So yeah, so these are some of the types of questions which you can expect in your Hexaware tomorrow or this coming week. So probably I will also attach the links of the other videos where in detail you can get to know the concepts one by one, starting from basic grammar to advanced grammar, and also it has a separate video for parajumbles. So you can check them out. If there is any doubts, you can ask it in the description box. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. All the best for your exams.